everyone, and welcome to day 3 of A Look into the HR Department. My name is Tanai Brumbelow, and I have worked here as an HR specialist at Cessna for about two years now, and I am excited for all of you as new employees. I'm glad that you chose our company and our Human Resources Department to work for. Congratulations. This program, A Look into the HR Department, was designed to give new employees a little more insight on some of the components of the actual Human Resources Department. There are many important topics within human resources. Employee relations is one of them. Human resources not only recruits externally, but they work to better the company internally. Many different types of conflicts can arise within the company. Human resources is the department that works to resolve these issues. There are many steps that are taken within the conflict resolution process. Today we are going to touch base on some of those steps taken in that process. Now, these are just a few steps. We know different conflicts may arise and they're going to require different steps. Today, what I'm going to go over with you all is just a broad generalization of a few steps that may be taken within the conflict that you may have to face. First, we gather the information on the conflict that has been brought to the Human Resources Department's attention. Statements may have to be taken if there were several people involved. This may require you to go out, do interviews with the people who were involved or people who were witnesses of the conflict that has been brought to your attention. We want to get everyone's story before taking action. We never want to have somebody come in, tell us something, and immediately take action. We have to go through an entire investigation process before we can do that. We also have to understand we will hear everyone's interpretation of what happened, so we may receive contradicting stories. Now, this is when the HR department, it's their job to decipher what stories are close to the truth in order to come up to the best conclusion after all the investigation is complete. The second step would be to process the information. Once all the statements have been gathered, all the information is laid out to be processed. This is where you will work with another HR employee. You all will work together, whoever's on this assignment, and basically put all the puzzle pieces together to find the best conclusion. Depending upon the individual conflict, the process can either be a short or lengthy one. Some conflicts require days or weeks of investigation and research before you can even go to the processing of the information. The objective is to come to the best conclusion that will be not only best for the company, but its employees as well. The third step in the conflict resolution process would be document, document, document. Now remember, we are going to document through the entire process, but it's very, very, very important to keep all of your documentation together. Almost everything dealing with employee relations is documented. Throughout the whole investigation, notes will be taken and everything will go into each file of the employees involved. As we all know, it's important to document the information in case it needs to be referenced at a later date. Now this brings us to our next step. The fourth step would be to take action. This is where you will need those findings and your documentation in front of you while you're going over it with the employee. Now remember, some of the findings you cannot share with the employees because of confidentiality, but you are able to go over information that you found on the employee that you're speaking with, and they can actually, you can reference your documentation with them. Depending upon the severity of the conflict, that will determine which action is taken. In some cases, a coaching session may be required of the employee. Some cases may find that a write-up is the most appropriate action taken, or even a suspension. Unfortunately, in severe cases, termination may take place. This is the hard part of HR. Yes, we bring people in, we hire people into the company, but in some cases we also have to let people go. But remember, the action is going to reflect the conflict, and the conclusion made will be best for the company and its employees. And we will always remember to remain consistent within our findings. Now, these are just a few steps taken out of the entire process that is put forth to resolve a conflict. You may take less steps, you may take more steps, but these are just a generalization that we are going to share with you. Guidelines are provided by the EEOC to help employers determine the most appropriate action taken. So we have those guidelines, we do documentation, we do research before we take action. This is just a brief overlay of some steps taken, and you will learn more as conflicts arise. Thank you all again for choosing Cessna, and welcome to the company.